The latest Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer revealed brand new Pokemon, as well as some old Pokemon that are making their return in the brand new games. I thought it'd be fun to recap them all and fill in some gaps, so let's take a look. Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka Drive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we are diving into the full Pokedex up to this point for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We're gonna take a look at all the Pokemon that have been revealed so far, and as I said, kind of fill in some of the gaps and kind of make some assumptions about some of the Pokemon we're most likely to see in the brand new region here for this Spain/Iberia based region. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button down below, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. YouTube tells me that about 50% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and if you guys subscribe right now, we'll hit 1 million subs, and I'm so close, guys. We're gonna hit it soon, so show some love. Make sure you guys subscribe. Anyway, let's take a look at the Pokedex, break it down, have some fun, and talk Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. All right, so this is pretty obvious, but we got our starter Pokemon, Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly. Like I said, I'm filling in the gaps, so I do want to mention that the most recent riddles indicate that these are evolving into a grass and dark type, a water and fighting type, and a fire and ghost type. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. LECHONK is our Route 1 normal type Pokemon, and we know it is going to evolve based on the Riddler as well, apparently into another pig with some mascara and some eyelashes. We'll have to wait and see. Palmy is the kind of new Pikachu clone of the region. However, some of the insight that we've gotten indicates that perhaps it could evolve. Not a super credible source. It's not confirmed or anything like that, but don't be surprised if Palmy ends up evolving. Obviously a very important Pokemon in the game, as it is our rival and friend's starter Pokemon, Nemonia's starter Pokemon. Then we've got Smoliv, the new grass and normal type Pokemon, which is going to be located most likely on the early routes of the game. So I'm going to make an assumption that this thing is going to evolve, right? Like, I don't think it's going to just be a normal grass Pokemon that doesn't evolve. So I expect to see some evolutions for Smoliv. Pikachu also seen when the trainers have the co-op scenes. I think Pikachu is going to be obviously very common. Pichu, Raichu, you can fill in the gaps there. Venonat making its return to the game, and actually this is the first time since Generation 2 where Venonat has actually been in a regional deck. So Venonat, Venomoth getting some love, maybe gets a new regional form. Maybe Venonat gets a regional form. I doubt it, but who knows. Meowth was seen in the first trailer, walking down a path. Persian most likely in the game. What forms will we see? Will we see an Alolan version, or will we see, you know, the Galarian Meowth? We'll wait and see, but we've seen the Kanto one so far. Psyduck, and then we can make a presumption of Golduck being in the game as well, as they were most recently in Legends Arceus. Magnemite with a great new texture in the game. We can presume that Magneton and Magnezone will make their returns. We saw Toxapex on this really cool beach scene, which obviously Marini is going to make an appearance. And then we saw Shelder in the very back. Hard to see, but Shelder is there. So that means we're likely to see Shelder and Cloyster. Gengar, of course, showing his face in the trailer with that big shadow ball. So we'll probably see Ghastly and Haunter in the game. And we saw Dratini as a statue on one of the fountains. So we'll probably see Dragonair and Dragonite. However, this was not seen as an actual Pokemon, but a statue. But it would make sense that we see it. I will make a note, though, that in Legends Arceus, there's a statue on Galarian Weezing. And Weezing is nowhere to be found in the game. So it's not 100%, but I would venture to guess that we'll see Dratini. We did see Flaffy shown in the kind of meadows, and it was also shown in the Poke Centers. So Mareep and Ampharos might likely making a return. One of the coolest ones was Quillfish was in like a car tire ad at one of the Pokemon Center shots. So we'll have to wait and see whether that's going to be Hisuian Quillfish and Overquill or just Quillfish. And I find this to be an interesting thought. We know that Hisuian Zoroark is confirmed for the game. So will we see Hisuian forms and the non-Hisuian variants, like in this case with Quillfish? Will one game like Scarlet have Hisuian Quillfish and Violet have the new the regular Quillfish, right? The Johto one. I don't know. I think that's a really interesting concept, is like some of the Hisuian forms being in Scarlet and the more modern day forms in Violet, because obviously Legends Arceus and Hisui was in the past. Definitely something worth noting, and something that I think could be really cool to keep an eye out on as this game develops. Hoppip shown in the game. We'll see probably Skiploom and Jumpluff. There was a really cool shot of Sunflora seen in the gardening pot. We don't know if it's actually the Pokemon, if it's a form, if it's just decoration, but that could mean that Sunkern and Sunflora make an appearance. It definitely looks like a Sunflora to me. Blissey was seen taking a nap under some trees. Happiny and Chansey will likely make a return. Really cool scene showing Larvitar and Bagon being traded. This likely means that these Pokemon are version exclusives. I think that that's kind of what they were trying to show here. And these are very common Pokemon to be version exclusives, Larvitar and Bagon, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Wingull was shown in one of those Pokemon Center banners, and Pelipper was also shown in another trailer. We've also seen Clauncher and Clawitzer shown in various screenshots. Swablu was shown in one of the first trailers of the game, so we can presume Altaria going to be making its return. This Swablu was quite beautiful, chilling. As was the very nice textures on Seviper. While it's not confirmed, Zangoose is likely to make a return as well, if Seviper is, just because they're kind of rival Pokemon. I think it'd be weird to have one and not the other, although I guess they could tie it into the lore. So, Seviper confirmed, maybe Zangoose. We also saw Starly in some of the trailers, so we can make assumptions about Staravia and Staraptor coming into play as well. We saw some Combees, of course, floating around, and some Drifloons. Vespiquen, Drifblim, gonna be confirmed for the game. Lucario is shown in the first trailer throwing an Aura Sphere, so we're gonna probably see Riolu, its baby form, as well. Petalil and Bone Sweets shown hopping around, so we'll probably see, you know, Serena and Steenie. Will we see Lilligant or Hisuian Lilligant? Another example of them potentially breaking out some of these Pokemon for Scarlet and Violet. So if you play Scarlet, you get Hisuian Lilligant. If you play Violet, you get regular Lilligant. That would be so cool and really bring things full circle with Legends Arceus. We know that Hisuian Zoroark was confirmed. Will we see Hisuian Zora, obviously, but what about regular Zora and Zoroark? Again, another example of them being able to make them version exclusive almost in a way, which I think would be very cool. Cryogonal seen in the new trailers, Fletchinder, Fletchling, and Talonflame are shown, so we'll see Fletchinder, of course. Flabebe, Floette, Florges. Multiple times we've seen Flabebe kind of around the beginning of the game, so this is going to be an early game Pokemon. Lurantis in the trailers, showing Petal Dance, so that means we're going to see Fomantis. A lot of grass types already. I feel like there's been a lot of grass types. Choodle was previously seen in a magazine/book cover in one of the houses, but now it was shown in the trailer, and I know some people think it looks different. I think it's just lighting. We'll probably see Dreadnought too, obviously. The trainer has a Tauros shirt on. I made some comments that I think this might be hints towards a regional Tauros form, just like they hinted the Greedent shirt back in Sword and Shield. This doesn't necessarily confirm Tauros for the game, but I think Tauros is going to be in the game. I'm going to be honest with you. Colossal. I'm excited to see Colossal kind of roaming around. Roly-Coly, Carkol, Colossal, some of the new Gen 8 Pokemon, just like Stonejourner, which was seen in the desert in the first trailer. Keeping theme with Gen 8, Ice Cube was seen in some of the ads in the Pokemon Center scenes, so it makes sense that Ice Cube would be making its return. And then I think it's super worth mentioning the stickers that were shown at the very beginning of the trailer. A Drifloon, a Hatina, and an Applin sticker. Obviously Drifloon was already confirmed as a Pokemon, but this could mean Applin, Appleton, and Flapple are coming, as well as Hatina, Hattrem, and Hatterene, which are all really cool Pokemon, so I would love to see them make a return in this game. And then of course you've got the legendary Pokemon, Koraidon and Miraidon, shown on top of these stones looking at the horizon, and obviously they have some sort of similarities to each other, but also some differences, one being from the past and one being from the future. So there'll probably be a third legendary, which is the present or something of that sort, that ties them together and kind of brings everything full picture. So that's all the Pokemon that we know so far for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, with some holes filled in between. We'll have to wait and see. We know from the Riddlers that there's going to be a Japanese-based insect Pokemon. We know that there's going to be a Objectmon. Some people are speculating maybe Rotom in a clock form or just a clock in general. And then there's a Waifumon that's probably coming. Some of those probably have evolutions. We're expecting the Pokedex to be about 137-ish new Pokemon is what we've heard, which would probably bring us to about a 350 to 450 Pokedex. We're not getting a national dex at this point, so that's why we're doing these videos, to keep you guys updated. Hopefully this was helpful to you. Be sure to like the video if it was, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let me know which Pokemon you want to see most in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let me know in the comments section below. That's gonna be it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by A-Drive, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.